I hate to say it, but I think we give Gary Gygax a little too much credit. And maybe the pillar we've placed him on is a little bit higher than it should be. Yeah, that ought to start you thinking, hello and welcome. It is Thursday. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm drinking a soda. Sponsor me, Pepsi. And we're looking at the, what is this thing called? The 75 Gygax 75 Guide to World Building. And the Lost Secrets of Gygax Dungeon Building. And, this is just sort of makes me think, we got to remember that Gygax's name is only on 12 products, actually, that are associated with D&D. 12, I believe. Maybe it's 18. And that D&D was a group effort. All Gygax did was put his name on shit. I mean, Blackmore dudes and the Tecmo dudes and the other dudes, and there was a dungeon before Dungeon Greyhawk. And, there was lots of people who had their fingers in the early days of Dungeons and Dragons. And after, the initial shit, when we get to, the box sets and second edition and AD&D, other than the name, Gygax had very little to do with what was going on with D&D. And by the time it got to the late 80s, early 90s, and we're getting into third edition, nothing. I mean, where's all the credit for Hargrave and what he did? How about the lost Dave Arnson techniques for building D&D campaigns, the lost Gygax techniques? So we're doing this Gygax 75 challenge. I posted a link below for where you can find the information on this. We might also do the Gygax Lost Secrets to Dungeon Building. And I'm going to say, unlike J. Scott Garraby, I do not think Gygax should be placed on the pedestal we place him on. He was just a guy who happened to be there. I mean, he's like, the Thomas Alva Edison of D&D. He had some good ideas, but he also stole a lot of ideas and just put his name on them. So, yeah. Let us not forget, that J. Scott Garraby once said that Gary Gygax should have a statue larger than the Statue of Liberty because he was so important to American history. And Gary Gygax was more important to American history than Harriet Tubman and Abraham Lincoln. So, yeah. Anyways, so this is from Questing Beast. This is the Gygax 75 technique. Let's do it. So it's a 5-week course in how to build a game world. And apparently this is all based upon the secret teachings of Gary Gygax. So week 1, create a notebook. Bam. 2, develop your pitch. Write down 3 to 7 well-crafted bullet points that will sell your world to new players. Each bullet should be concise and focused. A few clear sentences for each is plenty. Emphasize the more essential bits for establishing excitement, expectations, and tone. Your pitch will give players an idea of what they can expect to find or not find in your setting. I don't have any pitches yet. This is supposed to help me build one. So let's write down some pictures. You can see some of the art I've been doodling. I'm on hold a lot for my real life job. Like 80% of my real life job is on hold. So I doodle while I'm on hold. So yeah. I have filled several notebooks over the past 2 years of just doodles and drawings and comic strips I've made while I'm on hold. That is my life when I'm not talking to you guys. All right. So let's write down our 3 to 7 points. 3 to 7 Gygax 75. All right. Well, I don't have any yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Other than it's going to be a fantasy world. Okay. Get your sources for inspiration. Cite the names and cite them. Okay. Well, my inspirations are the Player's Handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide, the Monster Manual, Tales from the Loop, because that's just my inspiration for pretty much anything I do for the past couple of years. Superhero role-playing games, because I own more of those than I own any other hobby, I guess. What else is my inspiration? I don't know. That's pretty much it. My figures. All right, so inspiration. Classic D&D comic books, toys, the 80s, pastoral, beautiful melancholy. And we'll throw in elves with sticks, because I use that one a lot. Assemble a mood board. Using online resources like Pinterest, collect images to put into your right headspace. So go through the interweb and find pictures that I like and then post them someplace. Which means I would have to open my own Pinterest thing, which I have no idea how that works. But okay, we're going to write that down for mood Pinterest. And then we have an example that somebody made using this. Examples. Player characters are human. Iron is a relatively new technology, antithetical to magic. There are only 2 classes, magic users and fighters. I would say there's 3 classes, but okay. Powers of chaos and law are fighting over the fate of humanity. And the inspirations this guy came up with were some book covers, some history of Mesopotamia, and some city building, a video game, and of course Dungeon Crawl Classics. Dungeon Crawl Classics, yeah, definitely I love Dungeon Crawl Classics. I don't know if I could ever run Dungeon Crawl Classics, but I love the random tables, and I love the fact that every time you do something, there's that risk of the things just going wrong. All right, so that's week number 1 of the Gygax 75 challenge, and me probably getting a lot of heat for saying I think Gygax doesn't maybe, I don't think he deserves as much credit as he should. The lost secrets of Gygax dungeon building, they weren't lost. The lost secrets of Gygax campaign building, world building, not lost. Where's the credit for Steve Balboe? Where's the credit for Dave Hargrave? Where's the credit for the people who were, coming out of the 70s into the 80s and really pushing D&D into the forefront? From 1976 or whenever D&D came out to 1980, sure, it was there, but it wasn't really till the 80s. And, where's the credit for Dave Hargrave? And we always talk about player agency and the Forge and role playing, but where's the some love for Steve Balboe, the guy who created the Forge before it became the Forge? The very first person I'm aware of who was doing that shit. Where's the lost Tom Wham? Where's the lost Holmes School of Broadcasting? Yeah. Gygax needs a statue bigger than the Statue of Liberty. Fuck that. Anyway, so yeah, that's week number 1. So far we know we're making a fantasy world that is influenced by Dungeon Crawl Classics, comic books, toys, the 80s, the pastoral beautiful melancholy of Tales from the Loop, and elves with sticks. So now I'm going to work on a Pinterest, and I will post it with this thing. And then, week 2 is working on your land. So if you want to see me continue with this Gygax 75 challenge and do week 2, let me know. If you agree with me about Gygax, let me know. If you disagree with me about Gygax, let me know. And I assume a lot of you are going to disagree with me. Till next time, do we have any actual real news going on today? Not yet, but it's still early. I am the OG GM. If you appreciate this nonsense, take a moment to subscribe and help me hit 700 subs by June 1st. Get out of my dungeon, you damn kids, and your damn monkey. Monkey? Yeah, monkey. I don't know. It's still too early. Look at this, the shaking. I hate using the new camera. See ya!